Okay, perfect. And then so every night I run a power hour for our team. And so we just work together for an hour and we listen to your podcast every single night. And we just absolutely love you. And one night we heard that you did these calls and I actually almost missed it. And somebody else on our team, Tamika, she caught it and she's like, you need to email her right now. So we're so appreciative. We love you. We seriously fangirl over you all week. We have not been able to talk about anything else other than getting to meet you and just have you pour into us. So we are ready and excited.
Oh my gosh, Tamika, good ears, sister. Well, I'll record this for the podcast then so you can hear yourselves. That's exciting. So thanks for having me. Hello, everybody. My name is Jessie Lee. You can call me #BossLee, or the people's mentor, I guess is what you're used to me saying. If you're just jumping on, just keep reminding people I don't usually look like this, but if you are an OG Jessie Lee follower, this is my 4th entire month of October that I've done crazy SFX makeup. So today's Ursula, and I thought I was going to be way done, but these tentacles, man, these tentacles took forever. So at any rate, I'm really excited to be on here with all of you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for showing up. I'm really excited. So we're going to talk today about just not giving yourself the option to quit. And I love this topic because I know that some of you maybe had not an awesome September and you're kind of showing up right now because you are thinking this is maybe your last call. This is going to be your last call. You're going to give it one more chance and then you're going to see what happens. And so I just want to remind you that Rome wasn't built in a day. I want to remind you, anybody that you see that you're like, oh my God, they got it going on. They have everything together in their life, blah, blah, blah. They've got a story as well. And if you look at me and you think, oh, she's so good, she's so talented, she's such a great leader, she's such a great salesperson, she's so good at podcasting and lives and whatever you think about me, I'm a 9-year entrepreneurial overnight success. So anybody you look at and you think, why not me? Why am I not where I want to be? Why am I not successful enough? Why am I not winning yet? Whatever that looks like for you. I just want to be the one to remind you and tell you that there's always a story, my friends. There's always a story and it takes time. This takes time. And if you do quit, I'll just tell you, you never win. You know, if there's one thing I have, and if you listen to the podcast, you've heard me say this, but like, I don't have a lot of quit in me. I have a lot of grit in me, if you want to write that down. So there's been plenty of times I want to quit. I don't want you to think that I am a perfect human or that every day I wake up motivated and inspired. Yeah, no, that's a lie. Okay. That's called the Book of Lies. That would be reading from an encyclopedia of lies. I don't. There's plenty of days that I just really don't feel like doing things. But like I just said, quitting just has never been an option. And so I think a lot of us, we dream as little kids. We want to have greatness in our lives. We want to show up at a higher level of ourselves. We want to have success. Some of us want to break generational curses of our parents or our grandparents or generations and generations and generations and generations, right? And you can with this kind of opportunity. I think you know that, or you wouldn't have shown up, right? I think you know that. You probably have heard the success stories. You've probably heard the crazy tales of whatever. And I'll just tell you, it is possible. If you don't know me, I didn't start this to get rich. I started this to really do that, and that is break generational curses. I started needing $300 a month. I'm a verified multi-millionaire at this point. I'm almost at the 8-figure club, which is really cool, with 5 years of network marketing under my belt come October. And I just say that to you because aside from the fact that I look purple, I think I'm pretty relatable. Like, honestly, I think that, as crazy as that sounds, I think I'm actually a pretty relatable person. I have a crazy past. I just show up very consistently. I'm willing to be a student. I'm willing to learn. I don't judge people. I have a lot of empathy. I'm a very come as you are kind of person. And that has allowed me to see people for what it is and really pour into people and not allow them to quit. And one of your biggest jobs as a network marketer and as a leader in network marketing is going to be not allowing people to quit. So yeah, you shouldn't quit, but don't let people quit. Don't let people back out. Don't let people, take like the easy road all the time. Oh, you live not far from Frederick, Maryland. Well then, Sarah, I am from Middletown, Maryland, y'all. Okay. I live in Texas now. I live in Frisco, Texas. So I am nowhere near Frederick County, Maryland anymore, but what's going on? Yay. Country girls. All right. So couple things. You have to remember that you are bigger than your temptations. Like, it is tempting to not show up. It is tempting to not get on a call. It is tempting to not follow the systems. It's tempting to not listen to your sponsor. It's tempting to not show up to an event. It's tempting to go out and make decisions you shouldn't make, okay? Whatever that looks like for you in your own individual life. But that's also quitting. And sometimes I know life can kind of be against you and you're thinking to yourself, wow, like the world is a series of problems. My life is a series of problems. Everything's a challenge for me. My life is happening to me. And I would challenge you to stop thinking like that. That's some stinking thinking, and realize that life is happening for you, not to you. Write that down. Life is happening for you, not to you. So all of the challenges you have, all of the unique situations that you feel like are so unique, the interesting thing is that we as human beings bond through traumas. We don't actually bond through all of the exciting, easygoing things that go on in people's lives. Okay. Oh, that's great. So Delana says, we are neighbors. I'm in the colony. My post office box is in the colony. So that's really exciting. Wow. We might be really, really close actually then. So, but life is actually not against you. Okay. And a lot of the times when things are hard, we might think, why is this challenge happening to me? I don't think God gives you what you can't handle, first and foremost. Second of all, maybe it's like a trial period. Maybe you're in those first 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, even maybe a business where you're like, what is going on? And so I will just tell you my challenge for all of you, whether it's Ash or Brenda or Carrie Ann or Brittany or Tamika or Amanda or Tay or Galaxy S9 is listen, okay? Like you have to remember that you're not here to lose faith in yourself. You're all new at this. If you're 5 years in business, you're still actually pretty new in this. Like if you look at the government, you're allowed to write off failures, losses in business for 5 years. That's like the average amount of time a business fails, technically speaking, in the United States of America. And I say that because some of you have success, and just because it doesn't look like maybe my success or your upline success or whatever, you think you're a failure, but you're literally not a failure. I talk to Eric Worre a lot. He's my mentor and a really good friend of mine. And he says a lot of the time that you start to identify yourself as having leadership capabilities right around 3 years. The average person starts to be able to identify leadership capabilities within 3 years. So don't lose faith in yourself. Don't lose hope in yourself. Don't give in to those temptations of not showing up on a training or whatever it is. And remember that all the times in your life, when you have faced challenges, you overcame them. Does that make sense? Like all of the things that have happened in your life that you probably thought while you were going through it were going to break you. But did you die? No, here you are. Okay. And that's everything. That's divorce. That's health crises. That's painful friendships breaking up. That's businesses failing and you have to start all over again. That's all kinds of different things in your life. But I just want to be the one to remind you that this too shall pass. Like if you're somebody who's in a storm in your life currently, this too shall pass. 5 years is nothing. It's just that we live in some delusions of grandeur because some people do join and explode, which takes me to my next point, which is don't quit, because the idea that you're a failure is actually just living in your head. Like no matter what the challenges are that you're going through, it's in your head. Are you going to win or are you going to lose? You get to make that decision. So when I started in this, I knew I was going to win. And the only reason I knew I was going to win was because failure was not an option. My whole life was a failure, right? Like my whole childhood was a failure. I grew up in the small town as the do not have anything family, right? That was my real life. And so failure was not an option because I was sick of struggling. And if you're somebody who comes from real struggles, then you should be one of those people who's like, oh my gosh, she's speaking to me, right? Because I know what it's like to suck. I also know what it's like to be really good. And I'm going to tell you, it's worth the trouble. It's worth the hardship. Chantel's baby is obsessed with my purple skin right now. I am loving this. Look at him staring. Okay. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like a Disney coming to life. Oh, look at this. Okay. I love it. All right. But it's in your head, right? Are you going to succeed or are you going to fail? It's honest to God, up to Vicky. It's up to Laura. It's up to Catalina. It's up to Mandy. It's up to Kelly Jo. It's not up to anybody else. So decide to make that decision. Decide to make that decision. Am I going to succeed at this? Am I going to fail at this? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because as soon as you start saying, oh, I'm no good at this, do you want to know what happens? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. As soon as you start saying, no, I'm made for this, this is going to work out, it's all going to be great, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, your tongue is so powerful, right? If you're into the Bible, you know what I'm talking about, the power of the tongue, 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 the power of the tongue. Okay, then why do you think that, I don't care if you're religious or not, you've noticed this, you've felt this. You say, oh, he's not that into me. Next thing you know, he's not that into you. You're like, ooh, girl, I'm fine. Like he cannot resist all this. Next thing you know, he's like, he cannot resist, okay? Or she cannot resist, whatever you're into. I don't care, not here to judge. All right, like, oh my Lord, isn't it amazing how that works? Self-fulfilling prophecies, no matter the challenge, you need to think about, what is my belief system around this business? Do I believe I can succeed at this business? And this has nothing to do with quitting, but I'm going to say it because this is the way my brain works and I come up with things as I talk. Like, you have to make sure that you have levels of belief. A successful business has to have 3 levels of belief. Number 1 is belief in yourself. Wookie Lee, you need to go outside? Hey, Jenny, when you're done peeing, can you let Wookie out, please? Okay, belief in yourself, belief in you as a business owner, belief in yourself as somebody who can do more, be more, become more. Second level of belief you have to have is belief in your company. So do you believe in your company? Do you believe in your product? Do you believe in your service? Do you believe in your compensation plan? Do you believe in all of those things? This is important, right? Because if you don't believe that your company is the right company, you're gonna have a really hard time building it. Really hard time building it, because you're constantly going to be trying to convince yourself, oh, well, you know, I think. No. What do you believe? And the third pillar of belief is you have to have belief in this profession. Do you believe in the network marketing profession, or are you one of those people who's like, well, they told me it was a pyramid, it must be a pyramid? Okay, that's crazy. Okay, because I am not an Egyptian. I don't know how to climb pyramids. Yet here I am up at the top of the company. I outrank everybody. I out-earn my upline. Okay, like, it can't be a pyramid. All right, where are you on those 3 pillars? Because if you look at it like a stool, like a 3-legged stool, if one of those pillars of belief is lacking, it's why your business is not building the way you want it to, and it's why you might be considering quitting. Okay, so I just want you to think about that, because all of these things start in your mind and then manifest into reality. Okay, so the next thing, don't quit, because it's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Okay, I know it's one of those little like cliche, little like Instagram quotes. It's a Twitter quote. I tweeted just to you live just now. Okay, I get it. But like, it's so true. It's not that network marketing is hard. I will tell you what network marketing is. Network marketing is uncomfortable, especially at the beginning, right? Because you have to talk to people. Okay, you have to talk to strangers. You have to talk to people that make you nervous. You have to be told no. It's a really uncomfortable situation for a lot of us until it starts to become second nature. But it's not supposed to be easy. Like, I don't even think life is that easy, right? Life can be kind of easy, I guess, for people who are just prepared for it not to be easy. So if you want for life to be better, if you want for it to be the life you dream about, then you got to fight for it. If there are 8 billion people on planet Earth and everyone is individually fighting for survival, whatever that looks like to them, well, then you got to fight your own fight. So don't give up on yourself. Fight your fight. So no giving up, no telling yourself you're not competent, no telling yourself you're not good enough, no telling yourself you're not smart enough. Handle all that negative self-talk. Don't accept defeat before it's ever actually happened. That's what people do. You accept the failures before they ever happen. You listen to the husband who says, oh, people who look like you don't succeed at this. What does that even mean? Like, go away, sit down, husband. Okay? Like, I don't even know what you're trying to say to me. All right? I'm purple and I'm gonna be just fine. All right? Like, I think that's a little silly, but it's also really true. What decision are you making about what your business is going to have success-wise? The next thing, and I kind of started with this, but I want to rock on this for a second, is the storm will pass. You know, this too shall pass. Whatever the storm is you're going through, it's probably almost over. Okay. If you could realize where you are now and where you have come from in order to reach your goal, you would persist more, you would endure more, and you would continue more. Like, how many of you know Thomas Edison, the guy who invented the light bulb? I don't remember how many times he failed at his little light bulb experiment, but all I know is I got electricity in my house. How about you? Okay, like, we have to fail to get what we want. We have to fail forward. And those of us who are going to win at this business and win at life are the people who fail forward fastest. So who's getting the most no's? I can tell you it's your leaders. Whoever's making the most money on this call, and I have no idea who that is, she or he is getting told no more than you. Just real talk. Okay, I out earn y'all because people tell me no like I'm a crazy person, and I love it. I love it. Okay, just tell me no. I'm just gonna keep failing forward, not a problem. I'm willing to endure because I'm hungry for success. But success doesn't come without hardship. Success doesn't come without failures. But success when you fail also is really powerful because it allows you to have a story to tell. And every single one of you deserves to have a story to tell. You're not gonna have a story to tell if everything comes easily to you. You're not gonna have a story to tell. I'm looking for my laptop charger, by the way. Do you have any idea where that is? Because I'm at like literally 4%, and these people are not going to be happy if Ursula goes missing. Okay, I'm about to go missing. It's a problem. I'm gonna disappear. I'm gonna disappear. It's gonna be like the end of the movie when I think she dies. I don't know what happens to her, but I don't remember her living at the end of the movie. All right, so the next thing is I need you to be consistent and do the same things every single day. Okay? When you are considering quitting, I want you to check yourself, and I want you instead to make sure you're doing the same things every single day. And the reason I want you to do that is so that you can actually track your success. Because if you want to succeed in whatever it is that you're doing, you need to know what you're doing so you can have a plan. Successful people do the same thing every day. You know, I was making a comment over this weekend when we were closing out the month. I'm sure you all closed your month too. Thank you for the charger. But I will tell you, if you're tracking the same things every day, then you're able to predict your success. If you're doing the same things every day, you can predict your success. Success leaves clues. Today, Eric Worre, I will literally show you our text thread because I think you probably wouldn't even believe me unless I show you. So like, this is Eric trying to get me on a call. This is Eric texting me to get me on a call. I like real talk. This is a real conversation. And he keeps saying stuff. Oh, how about this? How about 2 hours from now? How about this? I say, oh, sorry, on a Zoom. Says, okay, how about a half hour? On a Zoom. Okay, sorry, on a Zoom in 2 minutes. Well, how about 2 hours from now? Zoom with Brian. Oh, okay. How about 5 p.m. Pacific? Oh, and I sent him my schedule for today. Because my schedule goes by half hours every single day. I know what's going on in my life because success is leaving clues. So how disciplined are you? When you feel like quitting, check yourself. You know, like if you think of an Olympic athlete, what is their schedule like? Do you think they enjoy it all the time? No. Okay. The only Olympic athlete who's like a little bit of a story I remember is Michael Phelps. Because like, you know, makes you proud to be an American, makes you proud to be from Maryland. Okay, that little fishy, he's clearly like, half fish. But anyway, Michael Phelps had to eat 12,000 calories a day every single day just to maintain his lean body mass to perform at the levels he performed because he would swim for 7 hours a day. Now, I don't know if you just heard what I had to say, but are you kidding me? If I eat 12,000 calories a day, I'm gonna need your product really badly, okay? Like I'm gonna need a whole lot of I'm gonna need you to wrap me, I'm gonna need you to pill me up, I'm greens, I'm gonna need a lot of things, okay? I can't handle 12,000 calories a day. That man, do you think he wanted to be in the pool at 4 in the morning? I'm gonna guess no. I'm gonna guess he didn't want to force feed himself 12,000 calories a day. I'm gonna guess that he doesn't want to do a lot of things he had to do to become the most winningest Olympic athlete of all time. But are you willing to do the things you don't want to do to live the life that most people want to live but never will? That's the question you have to ask yourself every day. Because if quitting is no longer an option, then you show up and you do the things you don't want to do. I said, oh my gosh, guys, in 17 minutes, I have another call. They're like, you're purple. I'm like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, I know, I'm purple. Okay, like I know, but I want to suffer now to live the rest of my life like a champion. I feel like that's a Muhammad Ali quote. Don't quote me on that, but I think it is. Suffer now to live the rest of your life like a champion. Like, and network marketing isn't hard. You shouldn't feel like you're suffering through it. It's just a good quote. Like, what are the things you keep putting off every single day? What is the fluff work you're doing every single day instead of doing the things you know you need to do? Because it's easy for you to post on Facebook. Yeah, but what about that follow-up, sister? What about those phone calls? What about those live videos? Ooh, what are you putting off? What is making you nervous? What are you quitting on? And just stop quitting on yourself. And like I said, Rome was not built in a day. Are you willing to be persistent in what you're doing because most people aren't? Are you willing to work relentlessly to achieve your dreams so you can beat everybody else? Why not be the best? Okay, hold on, tangent. I know I'm over time, but I gotta say it. I was listening to something or reading something, I don't know. I do a lot of development. Okay, but yesterday I read something, I think it was, and it was talking about the difference between first place and sixth place, which might not sound like that big of a deal. Right? You're like, oh, that's still pretty good. It's pretty good, pretty good. Okay, but like, are you trying to be pretty good or are you trying to make an impact on the world? That's the question you need to ask yourself. And I say it like that because they were comparing social media platforms. The number one social media platform is Facebook. Okay? Number one social media platform is Facebook. Who is number one in your company? You don't have to answer that question. I'm just saying, ask for yourself. Who's number one on your team? And are you showing up as the best version of yourself? That's the next part of the question you need to ask yourself. And the reason I say it like that is because some of you are like, I'm comfortable being sixth best. I'm perfectly fine being sixth best. I'm still pretty good when I'm sixth best. Right. But do you know what the number 6 network marketing or social network platform is? Google Plus. Right. Irrelevant. Irrelevant. Do you want to be an irrelevant? I'm kidding. I just like saying that. Or you're not trying to be irrelevant. So start showing up as the best version of yourself. And I'm not saying to have all of y'all compete against each other. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying compete against yourself. Show up for yourself and stop quitting on yourself. If you feel like quitting on something, quit on quitting. Break up with quitting on yourself and live the rest of your life like a champion. So I love you all and I appreciate you all. And I know that might sound weird for some of you because you're like, I don't even know you. Why are you telling me that you love me? Listen, there are people in this planet who hate people for no reason. So I will love you for no reason. And as we get to know each other and as our life goes on, we can give each other a million reasons to love one another. So God bless every single one of you. I have to finish this and then I have to go take photos. You have a question really fast? Tamika or Tamika, I don't know if I'm saying your name right. That's
Tamika.
Crazy.
I just need you to sit to this.
Tamika sounds right to me. What's your question? You can ask a question just because you're the reason I'm on this episode of Zoom.
Will you just sit to the side a little bit of your camera and put your arm out like this so I can Photoshop myself in and just point to me and just, point to me. Yep. Hold on just one second. Okay. Got it. Thanks.
Wow. All right. I love y'all. I appreciate you. God bless you. Ciao.
All right, you guys, that was so awesome. Oh my gosh. Love it. Does anybody have anything they want to share, any takeaways or anything they want to add?
Oh my gosh, can I just tell you that I swear she was talking to me personally because I needed it. I just swear that I was writing as fast as I could write and got 3 pages. I got a page in the car and 2 pages in the house and I was writing as fast as I could write. It's like going like, are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Yeah, did anybody else that shows up to their KPI sheet every day feel a little bit validated? I do my KPI sheet every single day, and every single leader that I hear talks about consistency and systems and having that consistency.
So I just want to say but the last 2 months I haven't touched my KPI sheet, but I pulled that son of a gun out. So I got it.
I missed the Zoom this morning for the power hour, but you best believe I'm now doing the work right now because I need to get my KPI sheet done at least twice. Also, she's fire and I love it.
Yes. I am going to put my address in the chat. And if you guys want to send a letter to me, I will forward her on, like Tamika used to do on the leader calls. I will forward her on a little gift and a letter just to thank her for her time with us. So I'll post my address here and then I'll put it in the Run with the Pack chat later too. So just get those letters to me out this week as soon as possible.
And I love that she shows up as a real life person and didn't even care that she was fully covered in Ursula makeup. I think that's just awesome.
So one thing I want to say to everyone is, you guys, it's one thing to be on a call and like be fired up, but like, what are you actually going to take away and do? Like what she said was nothing that you guys haven't heard before. It's all the same. Get through your nose, do your KPI sheet, show up every single day as yourself, no excuses. And you literally can make it to the top of the company every single time. And I love the biggest thing that she said is, and I've heard it before, but life is happening for you. Like, I know that so many of you guys are going through whatever you're going through. It's happening for you. That's not your reason to quit. That's your reason to keep going, because it's happening because it's putting you on a different path for something greater. And every time you choose to stop, I'm not even talking about quitting, because you guys were on the call, you didn't quit, but you stopped. You stopped plenty of times. Every time you stop, you're halting your forward momentum on the path that this hard life has put you in place of. Every time you stop. So stop stopping. And like she said, like, show up with people who are where you want to be and like be connected. So that's my biggest takeaway is like, don't just leave this call and be fired up for 2 days. Like Nicole just did. She's like, you best believe I pulled out my KPI sheet. Cora said I missed the call. I'm doing 2 of them before I go to bed at night. Like, that's what you do.
I like that she talked about the levels of belief and how she talked about it being a stool. And so I'm going to use that when somebody says it's a pyramid scheme. I'm going to be like, have you ever had like a 3-legged stool? And if one leg is gone, what would happen? Like, that's what this is. It's not a pyramid or a pyramid scheme. So I love that she shared that. And then I also love that she shared up as a purple girl, because how many of us wouldn't show up because we had something unmuted, or like we were too busy, something happened, or like life was happening, and so we're like, hey, we can't show up anymore. And so I just love like giving permission to be yourself. And obviously, like, her dog still needed to go pee, you know, like life is happening, and so there's literally no reason for us to not be showing up. So even though we all know that, it's good to see, you know, sometimes it's good to see somebody else of like, oh, they're a real human, like, and they can do this, so I can too.
Hey, I just wanted to hop on real quick. My KPI list is really easy because it's what Tamika gave us when we first started doing the push. And instead, just put it in your binder like this. Write it down and put it in your binder and mark it with dry erase. I mean, if you can't see that every day when you're doing your work, kind of in trouble, you know. But I also love the saying, suffer now to live your life like a champion. That actually helped me with understanding a lot of stuff. So I'm really glad I got on this Zoom.
All right, you guys. I normally don't talk, but I made a very, very big point of getting to Jessie Lee's call today. I get off work at 4:30, and I did not care that when it started, I was at daycare and in my truck. I knew I needed to get off my behind and get back in this, and I knew Jessie Lee was the person I needed to hear. So I showed up, and I love how she had said that life is happening for you, not to you. That was exactly what I needed to hear. I am a person that believes in manifestation and the law of attraction. And literally, I'm watching the law of attraction happening in my life, and I love it. But I can't give up on that, or it's not going to keep going. And that's basically what I took from Jessie Lee. It was like literally the kick in my butt I needed to have. Yeah, I don't know. I had more to say, and now I just got flustered. So sorry.
All right, let's go Liana and Caitlin, because I know you two had unmuted, and then Delana. We can't hear you, Liana. It's really choppy. So let's go Caitlin and then Delana, and then we'll come back to you, Liana.
So I know that we say this all the time, but not giving yourself the option to quit, that's a big one for sure. But all of the things to believe in, the 3 pillars of beliefs, we say that all the time. And that is another thing not to quit in this business, because you have to believe in yourself to be able to succeed. And we've all been there. I know we all have. But it's just been I don't know, coming from Jessie Lee, because she puts fire under everybody's belts pretty much. So I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Go ahead, Delana.
Well, what a great time to be a new person. Boy, I signed up just in time. She is on fire. And I tell you what, you don't need caffeine around her. That woman motivates you. Plus, she's my neighbor. I'm going to write her my letter. I want to know where she goes with all that makeup because I want to see her. I have a couple takeaways, and my number one is the same as Holly. Life is happening for you, not to you. I think some people get into the woe's me and poor me instead of being the star in your life. I think that's what we've got to do. Failure's not an option. Don't quit. It's not supposed to be easy. These are all these things that she said. Fail forward. Be consistent. Be disciplined. Show up, do the things that you don't want to do. Those are the kind of things I think and she knows that she's in networking. Those are the exact things we need to hear, and we need to tell ourselves every day. So I'm actually going to make a poster of this, and I'm going to hang it in my office because it's a straight up motivation we all need, and it's easy if you don't remind yourself to fall back into old ways. So are you going to send this recording out to all of us? Because I think I'm going to listen to her every day.
Yes, for sure.
And her purple makeup, because that was awesome.
We'll listen to it on our power hours. We'll be like, oh, look, here's this YouTube video that got posted for Jessie Lee, and it'll just be our call again. No, but so good. And you guys, it's so simple. Like, literally, we just do the work every day. Like, that's it. Okay, Asia, Mandy, then I see Tay Lynch. Okay.
So I loved everything she said. A lot of those things resonated with me. And I could not write fast enough, but I still got 2.5 pages in my notebook. But one of the things that hasn't been touched on already that I really felt was that the people who are getting the most no's are the leaders. That when someone reaches a certain level of success, and that level is different for all of us, but what we consider to be successful when we're watching somebody else, as soon as that person has reached that level in our mind, we start to think that they don't have to do as much, or they're not up against as much opposition, or that the road smooths out for them, and it doesn't. And so I was actually talking to Mandy about this last week and part of this week, just that the further I progress in this business and the more yeses I get, the more no's I get. The no's are actually growing exponentially, but along with that, so are the people that are seeking me out because of what I have to offer, because I'm just refusing to quit, which isn't to say that I haven't wanted to. And so I really liked that she touched on not considering quitting as an option. And if you are determined to quit something, then quit on quitting. And be okay with the no's and be excited by them, be encouraged by that, because you better believe that your leaders are getting the most no's out of anybody, and look where they are at. So that's just something that I really appreciated.
And I love that I get to piggyback right off of you, because my takeaway from it is I don't have a lot of quit in me. I have a lot of grit in me, because it's not that I've never wanted to quit, but it's I have more grit than I do quit, and to stop letting people quit, because that's where I need to focus. Just like Asia tried to quit last week, and I just won't let people quit. You can try and you can try and you can try, but I'm just not going to let you anymore.
Go ahead, Tay. And then Leanna, will come back to you if your internet's up and running.
So we've heard like time and time again that this industry and this business is a growth journey. Like 6 months down the road from the day you start, you'll not be the same person that you were the day that you started. And I totally got lost in my words, but let me find my note. Sorry, you guys, I went blank. I totally went blank. Go ahead, Leanna.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're good.
Okay. Well, my phone, it kept restarting and it
We lost you again. You'll just have to type it in the chat. All right, you guys, anything that's in your heart. He talked about this on Thursday. Leaders step up, leaders unmute on calls. I don't care if I'm on here for the next 30 minutes listening to each one of you guys share a takeaway that's already been shared. This is your opportunity. What stood out to you? What changes are you making? Vocalize it, say it, do it. This is your chance to unmute instead of just keep on being a quiet screen on the Zoom. If you have something you'd like to share, share it before the call ends. I will stay on as long as it needs to be. She only talked for 20 minutes. It's only been 36 minutes since we started. We are good. And if you have to get off, you can get off because it's recorded. But just make sure you're respectful of people's times and that it is that we just don't drag on for 20 minutes. That's the only thing.
I remember.
Go ahead.
I remember. Okay, so it's a growth journey. You guys, she said that it's not supposed to be easy, but this industry isn't hard. It's uncomfortable. And the only way that we grow is to get uncomfortable. So do the things that are the most uncomfortable to you. That's what I wanted to say.
I love that. Network marketing isn't hard. It's uncomfortable, especially when you're first starting out. Like, truth to that. I'm glad you mentioned that because that was big for me. Go ahead, Charlotte.
Clayton
And then we'll go Brandy after.
Read a devotional out of our Be Strong and Courageous. And there's a passage in Philippians. It says, I know to live on almost nothing or with everything. I have learned the secret of living in every situation, whether it is with a full stomach or empty, with plenty or little. For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. And, you know, leaning on your leaders and your higher power is everything, y'all. I mean, it's the universe, pretty much, I think. So give you strength through Christ.
Thank you, Charlotte. All right, Brandy, then Brittany.
So when she was covering why you're not winning and it taking time and how our leaders are taking it takes 3 years for stuff to start clicking and you being able to meet those goals or whatever. And I've been in the business 2 years and I've done other businesses and I never made it to that 3-year point, because I quit because it got hard. And I like that she was you never win if you quit. Well, that's true. That's legit. So I had a conversation with a girl who came in 2 days ago, and she already wanted to quit in 2 days. And she has disabilities, mental and physical. And the person that I was thinking of was Cora. Cora, our girl, has physical disabilities, and she does this job. She does the help them. I was excited to be able to reach out to her and know that there was somebody in our team who would be able to help her on that journey and not just her do it alone, because they're not alone. And to not let her quit. So that was one of my takeaways too, is stepping up and not letting people quit
and not give you those excuses of why they can't do it when you're no, you can. You're just not. There's people that are doing it that can help. All right, so Brittany, Chantel.
Okay, so I'm normally quiet. I don't like to talk much, sorry. But I wrote down in big bold letters, you can see it, this too shall pass. It has popped up in my life, I don't know how long. But it's just every time that I feel like giving up on, not this company, I give up on myself. I am my hardest critic. And so I will quit against myself because I just don't give myself enough, I guess, confidence to just do it. I always have to ask for someone's opinion because I don't give myself enough confidence. And so it's I've had some personal stuff go on, and it's just like her saying that again, for it being a million times coming in my life, this too shall pass. That meant a lot to me. And so coming back around, it's not allowing people to quit. Don't allow myself to quit. I work so hard at Food Line, so why don't I work hard for this? I get up on time to go to Food Line, so why don't I do this? And so I have to believe in myself. So that question, believe in yourself, that's that leg that I'm missing on my chair. So I am building that starting today.
I love that, Brittany. And you guys, the part that she said after that is what part stood out to me. It said, this will pass. And it said, you will persist more. You will continue longer. You will endure more if you only knew what was in store for you. And so like if you knew what the end outcome was, you would continue pushing. You would continue persisting. You would continue enduring through whatever is happening because it's going to pass. And if you knew what was on the other side, you would just be excited to continue walking through it. So, all right. We had Chantel, and then I think there was a few other people raised their hands, Charlotte and Nicole. Huh?
I thought at one point Brittany wanted to.
I've got Chantel, Nicole, and Charlotte on for hands, and so we'll go there. Go ahead.
All right, so what stood out to me is like don't let people quit, and like I actually have a coworker at Smith Orthodontics. She actually, I didn't know, but she had done this business for like probably not even that long, and she quit. And she's like, well, is it actually working for you? I'm like, it is. I actually love it. And like, I don't know why she quit, but like for me, I don't want to be that person to quit and not see what is coming forth into this business. And I am super excited because I just signed my first CT today, and she is my niece, but I'm still super excited to see her in the journey of this because she needs it like we all do. So
very awesome. All right, Nicole, and then we'll go back to Charlotte, and then if there's anybody else, write it in the chat and we'll get around.
What really stood out to me was where she said, life is going to happen and whatever you're going through is probably like almost over. And like that made me emotional, like way emotional because it's the truth. But what I realized is that my why is still there. So like all the bullshit that I'm going through is it's almost over, and I've allowed it to like just get me down, but my why is still there. And so that's like, for me, that really hit me. You know, I'm letting all this other stuff distract me from my why, when my why is all that really matters. So like that was really inspirational for me. So thanks.
I love that. Okay, Charlotte, and then I think we're good. Kelly Jo, if there's anything you want to wrap us up with. Or Clayton.
My takeaway from this is you have to do the things you don't want to do. Suffer now to live life later. I like that one. That one really got me. That's going to stick with me forever, probably.
Yes. And
Carrie Ann wants to share too.
Okay. I think she said too is like your business should be enjoyable. So when she said the word suffer, like it's not like you guys need to suffer your way to the top, you know, but there is some suffering that will take place. There is some investment that's going to take place, some sacrifice that's going to have to take place in order to get to where you want to go. And you have to be willing to accept that to get there. Go ahead, Carrie Ann, and then Kelly Jo, take it home.
I think what really stood out to me, it wasn't anything that she said necessarily, but just the requirements. She knew she had value to share. She was excited to share it, but she had requirements. 30 people had to be on, and she stuck to a certain time, and she knew that she wanted to pour into someone, to us. Because I know when I pour into people, I feel better and I can get more things. I don't know. It's just really good to pour into people, but she also had structure to it. Because I know as a yellow, as an empath, I could spend my whole day pouring into people and not get my stuff done. but I loved seeing the structure behind that, where she says, okay, I'm giving you my time, but I have a life. I need to get things done too. And so then it's just like, get it done and move on kind of thing that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, you guys, and even setting it up, like I put in the email and then they emailed me back with like what I needed to do. And like, I was able to give like some of my times that would work, but obviously my times that work are way later. And she's like, I'm sorry, like I can't do anything that late. And so she really stuck to it, you know, and it was kind of like, you're going to take it or leave it. And so obviously like, I was like, well, I'll work something out, you know, like, okay, we'll go earlier. So, but I love that too, that she really does just have structure. So I think, Christina F, did you want to go?
Yeah, just real quickly, I feel like the two biggest things, because even like Tamika said, there's a lot that we've heard before, but when she started saying like, give a story to tell, and it just like really brought me back to like a lot of personal development I've been listening, and just like what we're doing, that like it's not always like possible just on our own, and something how it showed me a lot, like, you know, I'm going to give a story to tell that's going to show that God made so much the impossible possible. And so that stuck out to me, along with when she said you are bigger than your temptations. I was like, I feel like that kind of like really spoke to me, just sometimes when I'm like, oh my gosh, I have such a headache, I'm just so tempted to like go to sleep, oh my gosh, I feel this way. And it's like literally last night I like was like, nope, I'm pushing past this, and even if I have to stay up an extra hour to finish my KPI list, that's what I'm doing. And so that just like, those are, I took more notes, but of course those are two big things that I was like, wow, like that just like really stuck out to me.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you guys know this, but Eric Worre that she was talking about, that is the guy that oh my gosh, no, I'm not going to be able to think of the name of the book that he wrote. GoPro. He's the author of that book, and like they're in the same company and they're like friends and stuff. So and then the other thing I was going to say, I don't remember what it was. So
what company does she do?
What is it? The
She's in
ketone
Prove
one.
It.
Prove It. Prove It. She's done other companies too before, but that's what she's with now. Yeah, Chelsea, go ahead, you guys.
I was just gonna say, honestly, I've heard a lot of what she said before, but honestly, her showing up, just like, she is crazy. And I think it just made me realize, like, because I like lower my crazy, because you guys, I'm wild, and I like dampen my personality like around certain people or around like my network or like whatever, and then I'm like, but why? So like just seeing her like that in that exact instance, I was like, I can live my best freaking life, and the people that want to be a part of it will, the people that don't, bye. Like it just made me realize, like, I can be whoever I want to be, and the people that want to be a part of it will. Anyways, and I am fine with myself and fine with like people seeing who I am, but just showing that next level too. So
I agree, Chelsea. That was probably my biggest thing too, of like, if I want to show up as a purple crazy lady, I can show up as a purple crazy lady, and there's nothing wrong with that. And so I feel the same way sometimes, and I love that as well. Okay, anybody else? And then I'm going to leave you with, I want you to pick one thing that she talked about that you are truly going to do. Like, you are going to start incorporating it, whether it's and actually that quote that she said, the suffer, I don't know if that really came from Muhammad Ali, like she said, but Dave Ramsey says, live now like no one else so that you can live later like no one else. And so like what he means is like, you're living with the envelope system. He's the debt-free guy. So like, you're living with the envelope system, you're budgeting, you're living like penny pinching now, but then as soon as you pay off all your debt, you can live however you want. And it's kind of that same thing. So it doesn't have to be suffering, but live now and do things now that nobody else will. Push yourself outside your comfort zone, get uncomfortable, do all those things that are hard now, so that later, you guys, $8 million is how much she's gonna hit the $8 million mark. That's what she was saying. Can you believe that? Just from network marketing, working from home on her phone, when she was broker than a joke. Okay, so we can do this. If she can do it, we can do it. Like, there's literally no difference between us other than she's got the grit, not the quit. So that's what we all need to have. And then I don't have anything else unless anybody else has anything.
I just wanted to say thank you for this opportunity. You're awesome.
Absolutely. And thank you, Tamika, for helping out when my internet didn't work. And thank you guys so much for showing up.
You guys, we have the best team ever. Like legit. There were 62 people on. Like record breaking. Like her standard is 30. Like we are the next biggest team if we all just do the things. And I feel like we're all on board. There's no stinking thinking. We are committed. We are loving on each other. We are doing all of the things. Like there's no stopping us. We're on fire. Like legit. Sorry, Kelly Jo, I had to interrupt because I'm just like, you guys, we have the best team ever.
We really do. And did you guys see when she first hopped on, she was like, whoa, look at the party. Like, so I don't know if she's used to that many people being on. I'm sure that I know she's done calls for bigger people, but I'm sure at 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, she gets people that have 30 people on, or she even gets teams where they're like not all on. So I appreciate you guys so, so much. I hope you took good notes, and make sure you guys, the quotes that she said, add them to some of your posts. Like use that as an inspirational post. Like what can you say about like grit over quit? Or failure is not an option. Like add some of those little quotes that you wrote down and use them in your post and let that be an inspiration for a post. Cause you never know. I feel like those ones that I make that I put like a little inspirational quote at the beginning or the end of it, more people pay attention to those opportunity posts. And then more people are like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, I want that life too. So always add those in or make your own little quote photos. And yes, definitely tag her in your stories. Tell her thank you. And then I put my address in the Run with the Pack chat so you guys can send her a letter to say thank you. And I'm going to make her some cute little Ursula stuff to send to her just to kind of be funny and cute. So thank you guys for being on. And oh yeah, I should send her a wolf. I'll send her a wolf and an Ursula. Yes. Okay. So anybody else have anything before we hop off here?
I kind of felt like the Little Mermaid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are. That's funny.